Mr. Watts?
Here.
Ms. Delph?
Here.
Mr. Noel?
Here.
Mr. Howard?
I'll make a motion to excuse Mr. Howard.
Second.
Mr. Watts?
Yes.
Ms. Delph?
Yes.
Mr. Noel?
Yes.
Mr. Stapleton?
Yes. All right. Does anybody have any issues with the minutes for last week or the last meeting? I guess it wasn't last week. Can I get a motion to approve the minutes from last meeting?
I make that motion.
Second.
Second.
All right.
Ms. Delph?
Yes.
Mr. Noel?
Yes.
Mr. Stapleton?
Yes.
Mr. Watts?
Yes.
Minutes from last meeting are approved. Now we open the floor for new business, R-02-2025, zoning district change of 3305 Main Street from R2 to B2. Nick?
Yes. I want to double check before we go forward. Do we need to do the swearing in before we get into business and everything?
Both speakers.
I think we have to do it for everyone, according to Martina.
We need to do it for everyone.
So we need to do it now.
Yes.
So, okay. If we, Sean, if you want to go ahead and deliver that, we can go ahead and get started with that.
Okay, raise your right hand.
If you plan to speak, yeah.
Anybody that plans to speak?
Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? If you do, say I do.
I do. Thank you, Sean. So I will go into the staff report, and then we can go into proponents and opponents after that point. And go into other questions as well. So today's business is Planning Commission meeting R-02-2025. The applicant for the zoning district change is Omar Shaker. The location of this zoning district change is 3305 Main Street, lot number 2152. Its current zoning district is R2, which is a single-family zoning district, and the proposed zoning district is a B2, which is a general business district. So an overall description of this, the applicant, Omar Shaker, is applying for the zoning district change for the 3305 Main Street property from an R2 to a B2. This is a property in which the structure is not held a form of business or usage within the property for more than 2 years. We're having this planning commission meeting today due to this discontinuation, In the Moraine Codified Ordinances, Chapter 1191.02, Section C, it reads, "The non-conforming use of land is discontinued for 2 or more years. Any further use thereof shall be in conformity with all provisions of this zoning code." And that was an ordinance passed in 1994, April 28, 1994. On the zoning district change application from Mr. Omar Shaker, you can see that tobacco sales are listed as the proposed use. In the Moraine Codified Ordinances, Planning and Zoning Code, B2 General Business District, letter A, permitted uses, number 22, is where retail tobacco stores is located. This formality will be brought before the Planning Commission prior to a 30-day legal notice for a public hearing brought before City Council. All legal notices were issued per Moraine Codified Ordinance, Chapter 1127. The Technical Review Committee reviewed this application on July 3rd, 2025. The Technical Review Committee wanted to provide information regarding the property. I also want to make a side note, the Technical Review Committee consists of City Manager Michael Davis, myself, City Planner Nick Cerise, Fire Inspector Doug Hatcher, City Engineer Lauren Alvarado, Building and Zoning Administrator Brent Carpenter, and Community Development Secretary Beth Waters. We reviewed this information regarding the property. The structure at 3305 Main Street was constructed in 1945 and consists of 416 square feet. This was constructed prior to Moraine being incorporated as a city in 1965 and prior to the establishment of the zoning map and planning and zoning code. It has always been in commercial use from our review. I attach records in your package regarding the usages permits we had on the building in our software, as this holds a historical record of commercial use It is something to consider with this rezoning. However, we do have to abide by the Planning and Zoning Code of a B2 zoning district for the land use of 3305 Main Street for tobacco sales to take place. There are also many other uses within the B2 use group that are listed in your packets. On a side note, the current certificate of occupancy is mercantile, or use group M, which came from a 2011 certificate of occupancy that was approved as a pre-existing condition. The certificate of occupancy remains with the building and is still active. Tobacco sales are permitted under a mercantile use group from the Ohio Building Code as it does pertain to retail. If there are any questions regarding the Technical Review Committee's report after our review of the zoning district change proposal, please feel free to ask at this time. Thank you.
All right. I've now heard the report. Do we have any questions? Want to open it up for speakers? Go ahead and open it up for the first speaker.
Yeah, we can do proponents first, if that works, and then we do opponents thereafter. So,
The applicant first.
So,
do you want to? Yeah, we can have the applicant come up first.
Yeah.
So, if the applicant does want to come up first, let's go ahead and start off with that, and then we can go into proponents and opponents.
Good evening.
Hey,
good evening.
Hi. All right, so I'm coming on behalf of Omar, who's also here with us. We just wanted to bring to the table that with this property becoming a commercial property again, it is going to open up jobs in the area, the new business, giving the local community job opportunities. It's going to give an increase in the city tax revenue. It's going to help out in that area. It also aligns with public infrastructure. So it is on like the RTA route, and it's convenient for everybody to be able to get to that may not have a tobacco sales in the general area. Excuse me. It is close to other commercial properties, even though we know that the ones right next door to it are not necessarily, but the general area is commercial. It was commercial previously. It is already in compliance to be commercial again. The parking, signage, setbacks, height of the building, everything is in compliance already, ready to go. If there are any neighbor concerns, there's no increase of noise. It is opened up at a decent hour, closed at a decent hour. The street is already accustomed to the higher flow of traffic in that area, so that's not going to be really much of a concern there. And no environmental factors will affect it in the area. So it always been, like I said, it's always been commercial, even for years from the very beginning, and it technically would not accommodate residential. If somebody was to move in, they would have to be completely redone. So we just wanted to bring those points to you guys. So,
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you. And then we can go ahead and open up to proponents for the building.
My name is Jerry Dunn. I live at 140 Salem Drive, Springboro, Ohio. I am here representing 3315 Main Street. I have grown up in this city, and I think one of the things that was mentioned here is that it's always been commercial. From what I've checked, the property's never been commercial. It had a special usage. It was a barber shop back in the 40s, 50s, and up into the 70s. There was a 2-lane road there at that time, plenty of parking in the front. As I've been investigating this and finding things out, there is no parking in the front. In fact, part of the property that whoever owns this building now, I don't know if they realize this, they have a variance there for people in the apartment building to park on their land, is what I found out. So that even takes parking away even more. The building next to it was a grocery store. It lost its special usage. It's now an apartment, which is not zoned multifamily, but there's an apartment there. The Family Market, which is a grocery store down the road, is not zoned business, from my understanding. From what I checked with the city earlier, it was, and the map shows it as residential, which probably has a special usage. Now, I grew up there and worked in this store, and at that time, I was under the impression that the Crouches they must have got another special usage. It's saying that they didn't get it zoned. But one of the problems that we have is not just parking. I think if we ever want to do a comprehensive change, or the city wants to change things there in Miami Shores area, I think if you have a zoned property there, that's going to inhibit that. That's going to be a problem there. I don't think the building, we've had the buildings used for things like that before. It's been a problem in the past. I don't discredit anybody for wanting to start a business. I think that's great. I think running a business is great, having a business is great, but I also feel that right at this time, there's no business down through there that is really zoned a business. It's all residential. In fact, I think the closest thing I saw was on Vance Road was a special usage for a house over there on Vance Road. Other than that, I don't see any businesses in the Miami Shores area, except for the city garage. I could be wrong about that, but what I've checked, I don't know if you folks know any more about that than I do. I know that our city inspector has been here since the Family Market was a defense cabin next to the road. We had the Family Market, we had Webb's Market, which turned to Buck's Market, and then we had the Trading Post, which was right as soon as you crossed over the bridge. Since then, that has been tore down and has been turned into, you see the lake and the things there. It's been transpired into a nice living area. Again, if there was still a two-lane road, Sellers Road, and had the parking in the front where you can angle parking, and there was parking on the other side of the street, and there was also a parking lot right next to the bridge where people could park. That's done away with. It's not there anymore. So we don't have that parking. And the concern I have is the last time it was a smoke shop, we had a lot of people parking in the church parking lot, and they were leaving their debris and things sitting around in there. So that's why I'm saying that I don't think it should be zoned business. I don't think we should go down that road, because once you go there, I don't know if you realize, you can't come back. It's there. Special usage is one thing. It can go away. But once it's zoned, it's zoned. So I'm just opposed to that. That's all I say. I think it's great people want to start a business. I just don't think that building is adequate for that. Thank you.
Thank you. Is anyone else would like to come up?
I'm against it too. I think
You'll need to come up to the mic, sir. Sorry, we have to get on public record.
I'm at 4701 Miami Shores, and my wife's family had the trading post there at one time, and I just think that location and where you got to pull in, and it's just too small for a business. And then that's a smoke shop is going to inhibit the people with the apartments and everything. And then when the other smoke shop was there, we know they was parking all over the church, and so I'm just against it.
Thank you. Omar, did you have anything else you'd like to add, or?
Yes, please.
Okay.
All right, we just wanted to address the whole parking aspect of things. I know that according to record, there is 3,900 square foot of blacktop there in that area. I know right in front of the building, you can put 3 vehicles, and then there's room in the back for 6. So that is something we just wanted to bring to your attention, that there is plenty, 6, you'd be able to put 9 cars at a time in that area at the minimum. So that's just something we wanted to bring up.
According to who?
Just on the auditor's website, it was 3,900, plus we have had cars back there, like when they were working on the building. I've been there with 2 other cars in the front with comfortable parking in the front and then also in the back. So we just wanted to bring that to light, so.
Stick around. Questions may come to you.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. I won't go anywhere then.
Stay in the
Stay
front
right here?
seat. Stay in the front.
All right,
yeah.
I'll stay right here.
Our turn?
Go ahead.
All right.
You got any?
I'm gonna let you go.
You don't let me go first?
I'm a piggyback, yeah.
Chicken. Okay, you can come back up then. I have a few questions.
Yes, please.
Yeah, please.
No trick questions.
No question, no trick questions. No trick questions.
All right.
Number one, do you own this building?
Yes, sir, I
So
bought it.
you guys bought the building?
Correct.
Okay.
And when we, excuse me to cut you off, when we bought the building, we checked with the city and on the city website, and it was in fact zoned commercial.
Or multi-use. one of the two.
It's, well, the zoning aspect of that is what we're talking about. It's never been zoned properly.
Correct.
From the 1966 city establishing its own, or 65, I'm sorry, 65 city establishing its own ordinances and stuff. None of those properties have been zoned proper, okay?
Correct.
Is that a fault of the cities? I believe so. It should have been
Maybe-
cleaned
maybe
up
no-
years ago.
Maybe nobody went through the right process like we're doing now.
I agree.
To get it zoned the right way. And I understand what he's saying, that once it's zoned commercial. Well, if somebody did that 30 years ago, we would not be here today.
Right.
And if you guys see in the building, it's not meant for anything else beside commercial. That
When-
is no way you can do anything else with the building except commercial.
Right. When I was a child, that building was a barber shop. And it was a local barber shop.
I wanted to do that first.
Yeah.
There was a guy came in to rent it for a barber shop.
Right.
Correct.
And as a barber shop in a local community like it is set up over there now, a lot of people walked to it. A lot of men
Absolutely.
walked to it.
I
you know,
agree.
And it was a nice community-based business. It really was.
Correct.
My-
There's a place like that in Kettering I go to, and it's just a nice, small place.
Yeah.
3 chairs, and everybody knows everybody, and everybody
Right.
go there to hang out.
Well, during the 1980s, and the building itself got sold to another gentleman. And at that time, he owned the apartment building adjacent to it as well.
Next door, correct?
So he owned both buildings.
Correct.
And at that time, it got, that building that you now own
Correct.
was granted a special usage, and a pizza shop went in.
I heard about that as well.
Okay.
Correct.
And because he owned both properties, the parking abilities in that and the exiting of the parking lot
Yeah,
wasn't really an issue. He owned both properties.
correct.
I think parking is going to be a huge issue for you. I've seen a lot of people pull into that business when it was a business before,
Correct.
and they have to back out onto Main Street. It's extremely dangerous. It's
It-
extremely dangerous to do that. We have people coming across that bridge. I can have law enforcement sitting out there 24/7. And we got people coming across that bridge doing 45, 50, 55 miles an hour all day long.
Correct. Yeah.
And to have their back of their vehicle facing away from the oncoming traffic
I believe
It
how
would
it is
be horrid.
next door as well. So next door, the apartment complex.
Is just
has
as
the
bad.
parking the same exactly way.
Yep.
With us, if we block that front parking and make everyone park in the back, then they will be able to come out just fine facing the road if they park in the back
The
parking
spaces
lot.
on both sides, yeah.
Correct, yeah. That is a huge space in the back for them to make a turn to come out, facing the road.
I understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying completely.
Yes, sir.
But the problem we have is, and it's really not your problem, but it's a problem. The problem we have is if the people do park on that side of the building for the apartments, and you have people coming in beside them to turn and park, that limits the room that those people have to get out themselves. The people in the apartment building backing out onto the street is just as bad as the people from you backing out on the street.
Probably,
The
I
way
agree.
things happen now is people turn in there, they go onto your property to turn around to pull out onto the street.
Correct.
See what I'm saying? It's a double-edged sword here both ways.
I don't believe that the business is gonna open up now, is gonna be, it's not a business where you go hang out and, you know what I mean?
I understand.
That is people usually in and out, you know, so hopefully it brings a lot of traffic. Hopefully it does a lot of business, that'll be good for the person who's renting it.
Well, I'm unclear on this point right here.
Yes, sir.
Is there a amount of parking spots necessary to accommodate a business according to square footage of said business.
Correct, there is. They would have to go, once we get into review their well, technically, the building has to remain how it is. It cannot be altered in any way. And whatever parking is with that building has to remain that same way.
But if that
Now-
parking, if the parking allotted spaces that are there now doesn't conform with the size of the building, we got a problem.
Yeah, we would have a problem with, this.
So our zoning of this would hinge on parking, just in itself.
Right, but that's for if you were to put in, say, a new parking lot of some sort. Since that parking lot and building hasn't been touched, the actual facility itself is okay. And the occupancy is okay. It's just the land that it sits on is where we get into the issue of the whole 2-year discontinuation. Because we could run into this down the road with, say, the multifamilies next door on both sides. You know, those are definitely not adequate parking, and say if those were vacant for 2 years or more, we're going to be going through the same process all over again for land use only. So everything else is fine. It's just essentially the zoning is what we're
So
looking
let's-
at.
Let's say this right here, and I have all hopes for you.
I appreciate that, thank you.
Okay, I really do.
I appreciate
But
it.
let's say this, let's say, unfortunately, your business isn't as successful as what you had hoped. We zone that building B2. Once that building goes B2, what's allowed in a B2 that we can no longer stop?
I believe all neighborhood businesses such as.
Well, there's a difference, big difference between B1 and B2.
Yes, sir.
So B2 is what allows the tobacco retail sales, so that's why we had to look into this.
Correct.
And I do want to touch on that after I go through these permitted uses. So all permitted uses are the same as what's within a B1 neighborhood business district, which I can get into if you'd like for me to. Department stores, the retail trade of drugs, books, stationery stores, apparel stores, jewelry stores, optical goods stores, furniture, home furnishings, cameras, photo supplies, hardware, hobby shops, musical instruments, pet sales and supplies, radio and television sales and services, sporting goods, newsstands and similar retail activities, bakery shops, dry cleaning and laundry pickup station, laundromats, etc. That's one. Office equipment and office supply stores. Establishments engaged primarily in the fields of finance, insurance, and real estate, such as banks, credit agencies, investment firms, real estate, and insurance offices. Miscellaneous business services, such as advertising, news, syndicates, employment agencies, travel bureaus, and ticket offices. Engineering and architectural services, legal services, accounting, auditing, bookkeeping services, nonprofits, professional, service, charitable, and labor organizations, business schools or private schools operated for a profit, theaters, not including drive-ins, restaurants including drive-in or fast food, post office and governmental office buildings, automobile service stations, and I apologize, this is a long list, so I'm almost through it. Auto and truck rental, new and used car, truck, bicycle or motorcycle sales and services, boat and marine equipment sales, rental and service, trailer sales and rentals, tire sales and repair, cultural institutions, including public libraries, public art galleries, and public museums, bowling alleys, indoor skating rinks, and similar recreational uses, building supplies, garden supplies, commercial greenhouses, commercial baseball fields, swimming pools, golf driving ranges, or similar open-air recreational uses and facilities, carpenter, sheet metal, and sign painting shops, medical and dental offices, clinics, health offices, and hospitals, wholesale sales, warehouses, and distribution firms, and retail tobacco stores, and that goes into accessory buildings and uses incidental to the principal use and is regulated in the B1 district, except for of a type which is prohibited in the M1 district as a principal use. And then there are special uses that are allowed in the B2 district, which are sexually oriented businesses, animal hospitals and/or indoor kennels, body shop, manufactured mobile home parks, nightclubs, temporary and/or outdoor sales of plants and garden supplies, and micro antenna or wireless communication antenna facilities. And so those last ones I listed off would have to require special use in order to be allowed. When you look at a B1 for the neighborhood business, if you'd like for me to,
No.
I can,
Did you say Jim?
it's more so, just to give just a quick overview, it's more so aimed at, say, your local restaurants, your local smaller businesses, retail services, sales, and anything permitted in the R4 district as well, and anything below that, and business and professional offices, and pretty much a lot of the similar things that I read off in the B2 district. However, with the tobacco sales being on the application, that's why the B2 was raised up. And that's why I wanted to ask too, Omar,
Yes, sir.
what kind of other tenants have reached out to you about this specific
There was a
structure?
barber, somebody wanted to do a barber shop. There was a Hispanic lady that she wanted to do a hair salon. There was that gentleman from the smoke shop. And who else? I think some guy he owns a clothing store somewhere in the mall, and he wanted to open up a store there. That's very much was, I didn't post it in online or anything, just once the people know there was a new owner, they start reaching out.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I guess, what are you open to in terms of allowing, like, for tenants and stuff? Are you aiming at a certain
For me,
industry
just
or
investment
anything?
property. I
Okay.
didn't want to do anything besides just invest in the city of Marine, and that's it. I'm a medical doctor, and it's 5 of us, and we invest in a city like Marine, and we feel like that is a lot of an opportunity for us to make money here within the city of Marine. We're not buying the things so expensive, but it will eventually get there. The city's doing an amazing job cleaning up the city, thanks to you guys, all the volunteer here today. But we're just investor. That's all we do.
Did you by chance buy the apartment building adjacent to it?
That was the plan. The plan is to buy that building and buy the building next door. And then this is when we get into that mess with the zoning, so we kind of put everything on hold until
Okay.
we figure all this out.
Okay.
We were looking at 6 properties altogether in the state of Marine,
Okay.
and then our first one was a problem, so we're like, hold on, let's stop for a second.
Put the brakes on, quick.
Yeah, exactly.
As Nick, I'm taking up all the time. If you guys want to talk, you guys can talk. I mean, my God, you can't tell I'm,
You're doing amazing, Tom.
Pardon me? Not,
Not really.
no, no.
We may open that back up after.
After we talk some. There are usage in a B2 that are concerning quite a bit.
Nightclub?
Like what?
The nightclub? The nightclub?
No, I believe what he said, that some of those, you will have to still come back here and ask for permission. So it's not like, hey, I'm gonna rent it to Amber, and Amber's gonna open up a nightclub tomorrow.
I hope not.
No.
Be a nice place.
The main goal, I know that with Omar, was to do something small. Keep it small, but still help develop Moraine in a positive way and help the business and everything. So I know his intentions are not to do something big. So he
This-
wants to
you
keep it
cannot,
small.
even if you
Right.
want to, right?
There's
Let's
no
say-
way.
Let's say I went crazy and I'm gonna
Yeah.
rent it to a guy that is gonna open a nightclub in 550 square foot. That's
No.
you gotta walk sideways in that business.
Right.
Seriously. So it's, I don't think it's qualified for anything.
Right.
Whatever business on B2. That's.
Do you by chance have with you an overview of the comprehensive plan that the city of Moraine just paid $500,000 to have done?
I have a map of that road that shows where it's at. Actually, oops, sorry.
Nope, I was just gonna pass it down.
Before I give it to you, They're building. Circled there in black, very
Now,
small.
this according to the new comprehensive plan.
That's according to the comprehensive plan. However, when you look at it, it shows everything as R2 throughout there. So in terms of getting businesses in on Main Street and everything, I know that's something that's always been talked about, so it's something to just take with a grain of salt when it comes to that map. Because I would say that comprehensive plan would take away the opportunity for multi-use, or I'm sorry, multifamily development along Main Street or anything outside of R2. It would keep everything R2 along that, pretty much all of Main Street. So it's just a guiding document. It's not an exact way for us to move forward, so that helps kind of answer it.
What this is, okay, to let you know.
Yes, sir.
The city has to, about once every 10 to 15 years, the city has to go through a program called a comprehensive plan of what they'd like the city's outward goals to be. No big deal, right? You know that. They just got done with doing one a year ago, okay? And the property that we're talking about, according to the comprehensive plan, which, if you want to know the truth, is supposed to be the Bible that this board lives and breathes.
Does it really, that building, the 3305?
Well, according to what this says, it's supposed to be residential in the future. Like Nick said, that doesn't necessarily mean this ain't gospel, but it's what we're supposed to look at, okay?
The only thing is, the only concern is, if it's meant to be residential, I would be more than happy. Again, it's investment, right? At any city, it would like to attract more businesses for job opportunity and more higher tax, sales tax, federal tax, right? Obviously, I don't see the building could be anything else except the business. Always been. I had a conversation today with Brent, and he said he's been here since, what, 1984, I think? 84.
I was born.
And exactly, and the only thing he ever remembered that place as being is it's a business. So,
Yeah.
hopefully that will help us determine,
I mean, it could be Morane's first tiny home.
So,
I think tiny homes might be a little bigger.
416 square feet, it's kind
Yeah.
of small.
I'm telling you, you gotta walk sideways in that.
I believe
place, You know.
I believe it.
Let me ask you this.
Yes, sir.
And I don't know if I'm asking you or if I'm asking Nick.
Let's ask both of us.
Is it possible that we could get a special use zoning reestablished for that building instead of taking that building to a permanent B2?
We can consider a conditional use temporarily. And Brent, correct me if I'm not wrong, is that?
Correct.
Yeah, so we can grant that to them, but that's through BZA, correct? That's not through planning commission.
And you made a good
So-
point, Tom, because I think that was his concern as well. Once, it's.
B2.
It can never be
Exactly, and
switched
it's
back.
always gonna be a B2, If my wife, she's due for retirement soon, by the way, out of the Air Force, but if she'd end up stationed somewhere and I sold the building, so I understand his concern as well,
I didn't bring that specific piece of code with me, but we do have a section where, say, we can, if it goes through BZA, Board of Zoning Appeals, it can be granted a special use, conditional use permit for operating business, say, on an R2 piece of land. So that's another option, but we have to go through the Board of Zoning Appeals, so that's just something to keep in mind, but that is an option here with this specific piece of land and everything.
If that business was never closed at any point, I guess we would never be here. It would continue,
It would have been a
Correct.
special
It would have
use.
been
Yes.
Exactly, special use.
If it changed,
Makes the resident comfortable,
All for it.
Absolutely open for it.
If it changed occupancy at any point, it would have to get a special use. Now, just with this dealing with the land portion, it would have to go through BZA for non-conforming non-conforming land use permit for business activity to occur. So it would just be for a business use on an R2 zoning district. So,
True, honestly, if I knew from day one that I have to go through all this, I probably would not purchase that place, honestly. And I did do my due diligence. I did call the city. I came to the city. So was my agent. So was everybody. And everyone agreed, no, you're good to go. Go ahead and buy it. And you know, and now we find out the hard way. And it was a learning experience for everybody, honestly. I'm not saying they done anything, you know. It was nobody know anything about that 2 years.
Unfortunately, there's a lot of areas down that part of the street right there, in my opinion, okay? I've lived here my entire life. I've lived within walking distance of that, okay?
Barbershop, we call it the barbershop.
We call it the barber shop. Across the street, there used to be a gas station.
Oh, right across the street, really?
Yeah, yeah.
That green space?
Yeah.
Is it really?
The green space you're referring to is still not zoned properly either.
But you need people like myself to come up and zone it properly, so we don't continue having this problem. I cannot understand his point as well, that once it's zoned,
Right.
right? But if we don't do that, then it's always gonna be a mess.
Okay, now, let's, I don't want to play devil's advocate. I don't want to do that because that's not helpful. That's not helpful at all.
You're fine.
But let's say you did buy the property adjacent to it and you tore that building down. And before you tore that building down, you had the zoning changed on that.
Okay,
Now, all those zonings would be up from R2, even R1, up to multifamily or beyond, B2, okay?
Okay.
You could do just about anything you wanted to with that piece of property. Tear the buildings down and start afresh.
you still have to go through the city, and the city will still
Not
have
when
to
it,
approve.
you do, but when it's zoned B1, there's not a lot the city, or B2, there's not a lot the city can do to stop it.
No, they can say, no, we're not allowing this business here. He just read it, right?
Well, if it was one of those
If it fits
restricted,
if it fits in
but
that
if it's
category.
anything else that wasn't
Yeah.
restricted, then it's
Right.
open.
So I have a question. If it's the special
special use permit.
special use permit, if your business closes,
Okay.
that means someone else has to come and do this all over again before anything else can be done with that shop?
He has asked for permission, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
So eventually, you're gonna see the next business before he opens. You know?
Right.
Yeah.
I do want to kind of piggyback, ironically. You said something that kind of triggered a thought to me. Now, you had mentioned, like, correct me if I'm wrong, you said you own, but somebody will be renting the facility, correct?
I own the land.
Correct.
And
But then the business will be somebody separately then, correct?
rental. Correct.
Rental, right, okay.
Yes, sir.
So in a hypothetical situation, yeah, I'm not one for devil's advocate either, but in that situation, so say you go B2, all right? Then let's say that location doesn't pan out, investment, as far as like being able to, like, tobacco shop doesn't kick off, right?
Yes, sir.
You can foresee kind of like a cycling through of businesses possibly then.
But then I would have to come back and ask for permission for whatever.
Well,
But no, I'm saying if it's R2, you wouldn't have to,
B2,
correct?
yeah,
No,
if
no.
you
Or
put it
B2, I'm
in
sorry,
you
B2.
wouldn't have to.
Apologize. Yeah, so that's,
If you
Depends
did,
on what I'm opening up. If it's within
yeah, if you were just in a retail store or anything
Yeah.
that was within the regular usage of
Within the regular
B2,
usage, I
B2.
have-
you're free to get as many rent.
Actually,
as you want.
I do retract what I said earlier. I'm reading some older notes from 2002, where the same thing happened at the same property, and it had to do with the whole pizza to laundromat thing. And someone did have to get a non-conforming use reestablished in the building because it was non-conforming for more than 2 years. So after that, as long as they stay in business and are within that usage, and they do not go out of business for more than 2 years after that point, then they will not have to reapply for a special use. Unless if it were to be something in the code, say if it's a B2 and it's a nightclub or something like that, then we will have to go through a special use for something like
They
that,
could-
so.
As long as
Oh.
they had it, as long as they had, within 2 years, they could cycle through any
Right.
business.
Correct.
Basically, okay.
Correct.
The whole point
That's-
is we're forgetting about the building is 400 square foot. That is so much you can do in there, right? So it's never gonna be anything you guys might not
Yeah.
want in your neighborhood, right?
But I would say the hypothetical to that though is what he brought up, which is you did mention there's an intention of buying the adjacent property, which
That's-
if you rezone that though, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you, but if you rezone that you would actually be able to do with that property whatever you would like.
Yeah, but that is an apartment
Yeah.
complex. That,
Okay.
that one will be a hard one to rezone,
Okay.
I'm guessing, you know what I mean?
Actually, it's not.
No,
It's not,
yeah, I was gonna say.
it's not
Well, I would still
conforming
have
right
to come-
now.
I would still have to come in front of you guys, right? So I'm not,
Yeah.
you know, if the fact, but the plan is to keep that, it's actually finished to be an apartment. He remodeled the whole place really nice to be an apartment. I guess it used to be a business on the
The
first
bottom floor used to be a little grocery store.
That's what I heard.
Back in the
yeah.
day, it was Mr. Webb's, and then from Mr. Webb's to Buck's Market. I've been here a long time, about as long as you guys. I mean,
So Nick, if I'm hearing correctly, basically, if it's art or if it's B2, it's his to do with what he needs to do with it. It stays B2 forever at that point, right?
If it were to go through the whole entire rezoning process and
Correct.
it gets to B2, you cannot rezone after that fact to
Right.
anything more restrictive, so it can either go B2 or up from that
But
point
if we go
on.
with that non-conforming, if it goes through the BZA, the non-conforming, as long as he don't have a tenant out of there more than 2 years, he can cycle through as many tenants as he needs to in that regard.
Correct,
Okay.
yes.
Just making sure. Okay, that helped me. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
Omar.
yeah,
Thank
no
you.
problem.
Is
Thank you,
B1
sir.
the same way? Where
Yeah,
it's
so
built as
yeah.
B1, it can't go back down?
He's not, yes,
Yeah,
He's not asking
yeah,
that, I was just curious.
yeah.
Yeah.
But you're right.
and anything tiered down from that point on can go into residential. Anything residential can go into the B1 or B2 districts,
Mhm.
so.
I actually didn't know that.
I,
I'm learning all about this.
We are too.
And I guess, like I said, it's a learning experience for everybody. I wish somebody came here before I bought the building and
Right.
fixed the whole block. not just-
I don't, you're the business owner, correct?
No, no, she's my assistant.
Okay.
I own multiple businesses.
Okay.
So she's.
His right-hand
my
man,
assistant.
yeah.
But you said you already had it rented out or thought about having it rented out to a smoke shop, correct?
Oh, yeah, absolutely, yeah, yeah. We came to the city with a gentleman who's gonna rent a place,
Okay,
and we spoke with multiple people here that day, and they can confirm that. They said, no, you guys are good, and the place is good to be a
You-
business.
you've done your research on that building, it's obvious. you-
More than you think, I
Yeah,
promise you.
you know that there was a smoke shop in there before.
Correct, it's called Marine Smoke Shop, if I'm not mistaken.
And it did not last long at all.
I haven't heard good things, I can tell you that.
Yeah, it did not last, I don't think it lasted a year. Unfortunately, it did not last.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm not. a
Do you have
smoker
strong-
myself, So I don't know how that goes, but you know what, if I have a rental, he has a lease, and if the business doesn't do well.
He still
I'm gonna
owes you.
shake his hand and we'll open up your barber shop. We're gonna end up at that barber shop, I promise you.
My next, I don't want to call it an objection or anything like that, but my next fear would be, at that point, there is a good-sized grocery store just 2 doors down, 3 doors down from you. And the
Convenient place,
yeah.
yeah.
And they are a tobacco dealer as well. They have quite a bit in there. Probably not as much as what a normal smoke shop would have.
Correct.
But you're running against a competition that is very, very close, and the parking is
I'd love to-
substantially bit
It is,
larger,
it is, absolutely.
okay?
Yeah.
Which that building itself isn't in conformance with proper codes either.
I heard that they all
Sounds
are
familiar.
as well. The whole block is R, right?
It is not. The whole block is not
Well, we
conforming.
looked at it today, and they all are, but they have the special
Special
permission
use.
because they've been an owner after an owner. They never closed within the 2 years. So
Yeah.
that's what it was. Yeah.
That, like I said, there's a bunch of cleanup that needs to happen up and down Main Street.
I'm all for it, though. You know,
Yeah.
that's when I come in, right? You clean the block. I brought the property for $1. It's gonna be $3. That's what we like as a group of me and my friends. That's what we do. We go into city, we buy, city goes up, we make money. That's how I'm being straight honest with you, you know? And that's why we wanted to invest with the city of Marine, because we feel like you guys going towards that direction, right? Centerville, we invested a lot. It's getting expensive, obviously, right? City of Marine, you still can make a lot of money because you buy within reasonable, you know what I mean? So that's, but first one, we start having a problem. But hopefully we can move this through, and hopefully, you know, nothing will happen without us standing back here again and ask for permission. And if I ever do switch, I would do exactly what I did the first time. If she came in today and said, hey, I want to open up a hair salon, I'm going to bring her into the city and say, hey, you guys okay with that? Yes. Okay, go ahead, you can have it. And that's exactly what I did with that gentleman.
We also have any more questions?
Nick?
I have nothing further. Thank you.
Anybody else in the audience have any more questions?
Oh, still on the side.
There's a couple things I don't understand here. Number one is the special usage. I know how that works. I'm the one that brought it up. Or this would still be going ahead without nothing ever happened. We wouldn't be here right now. Am I correct? Brent, am I correct?
Sure.
Yeah. Also, the apartment building, I don't understand how somebody can get a variance on somebody else's property for a property they don't own. This gentleman owns this building, yet there's a variance for he has to let the people at the apartment building park on his property. I don't understand how this come about. I've tried to research it, I've tried to find out, I can't find anything on it. So I don't understand how that happened.
I did show you, Jerry, there was an easement 2007 in
Right.
Montgomery County's office.
Right,
where
but what I'm saying is, that easement in 2007, the same person owned both properties,
Correct.
okay? Why then was that property sold without that easement being told to him?
That's out of our control.
Because
mean,
if I
that's
bought a
not-
piece of property and then later I find out, hey, you gotta let everybody in the neighborhood park in my property, I'd be upset about that.
Unfortunately, that's on his realtor.
And I have no problem with this, listen, it's been a business since I was a kid. It's been a barber shop, pizza place, it was a smoke shop. I understand special usage. The building right next to it, is that zone multifamily dwelling? The old Bucks Market, Webb's Market, is that zone multifamily dwelling? It is
No.
not, is it? But it's a multifamily dwelling place. Why is it? Because it always has been, right?
It hasn't discontinued for more
Well,
than 2 years.
The grocery
so-
store turned into, well, I didn't know you could turn a grocery store into an apartment. I didn't know you could do that. I didn't know, special usage meant you could turn
The lower
a
level?
business into an apartment building. I didn't know that. Maybe I'm wrong. But-
You can do mixed occupancy for buildings, kind of like what you see in downtowns where you have an apartment upstairs and a
understand, I
business. But
understand.
yeah,
And-
I just,
And I'm
And
not
that-
saying anything bad about it. That's okay. I'm not bucking that. I don't think that's wrong. That's fine. I do have a problem with the apartment building on the other side. It's falling down. But
You want to buy that?
I think I mean, I have no problem with it staying a special usage. I'm just saying with the comprehensive plan that I've seen for the city, and we spent a lot of money for that to happen, it shows a different plan for that area down through there. I have always wanted a revitalization of the whole area. I don't live there anymore. I had to move away because of special circumstances with parents. But I'm just telling you that I still do everything here at the city. I am involved in all the stuff at the city. I love the city. Home is home. And I'm sure Brent can say the same thing. He was a kid when he moved here. This is home. If he wanted to put something there that it stayed the same, if it was redone, I probably wouldn't have. But what kills me is the variance for parking takes away a big majority of the side of that building there. And when it was a business, before the road was there was all kinds of parking. But now that it's a 5-lane road, that's been taken away. And I just don't think, I just don't think, if it's a business, it's a business. There's anything we can do about that. The only problem we had to do was, we had to rope off our parking lot at the church because we had people parking there from the apartment building, because that building was rented out. People was parking there and staying there, and then people were parking in the church lot all the time. And we were having to ask people, didn't know who the car belonged to, and, you know, you really don't want to tow people's cars away, but, I mean, we got to that point where we had to start roping off, and they started dumping their trash there and everything else. And, you know, when you see tobacco wrappers, because they buy it in bulk, throw it around there and things like that, it's a problem. And I know even the family market's not zoned a business, but I love having it there. And I've loved having the barber shop and the pizza place, all that. So I don't mind that. I just don't like the way it's going now. And this does not go along with the comprehensive plan of the city of Moraine. And that's all I'm saying about that. I think we should look at that. If we're going to pay somebody to do something and we're going to look at that, I think we should follow through with that. If we're not going to follow through with that, then why are we spending all the money to have this stuff done? I think it's a waste of taxpayer money.
Thanks, Chair.
Do you guys have anything else?
I do want to add one more thing. Say if they went through a change of occupancy and it wasn't mercantile and it was a different building usage, we would have to be going through this process of rezoning to whatever it may need to be, a B1, B2, whatever. So I just wanted to make that clear for the record too. If we do give a special use permit for a non-conforming land on, say, through BZA, hypothetically, it would have to stay within those uses, but if there's a change of occupancy on that building, this is where it gets kind of confusing between the land and building, it'd have to go through the whole process all over again, and it'd have to be rezoned to whatever the proper, say if an apartment building, they bought two of those and two lots there, and they tore down the 3305, it would have to, you know, go through a whole land use change, zoning district change. So I just want to make sure.
Well, it's R2 now.
Correct.
Let's just say, we're going hypotheticals here.
Just-
Let's just say they did decide to buy the apartment building. Okay, and we all know those apartment buildings are in pretty rough shape. I mean, there's nobody around here that don't know that. If those apartment buildings came down and you decided to tear down 3305, now you have plenty of parking for a 4-family apartment building, 5-family apartment building, because R2 is multifamily.
No, sir.
R2 is single family.
R2
It's
single?
only single family on.
R4 is multifamily.
R4, yeah.
Correct. Yes, sir. Well, my plan and my goal is to invest in clean, not to make a mess and make it. And he should be happy about that, right? People parking in his
Church.
The church.
that happens all the time, all day, every day. I own one very successful towing company, and it happens all the time, right? People's never gonna stop, right? Having a business there and not having, unless you put a sign, start towing everybody.
No.
You know, exactly. So I understand his point too, but he should understand I'm coming in
Trying to better.
to make it better, right? Once the whole block gets better, guess what? It increases everyone's property
Okay.
value, right? So that's the plan. I don't think he understands. He think that, oh, it's gonna make his church dirty, or no, we actually want to clean it.
Okay.
This time I'd like to close the floor for questions.
Are we waiting for him to come back?
No.
You can go ahead.
No.
You're welcome to,
You
you're
have
welcome to have
a
a seat.
Okay, we can get, we have.
What do you want to do?
All right, so if we want them to get a special use, or to push them out, that's BZA, not us. So this is basically, even if that's your suggestion, then this is either a no or we table this.
In my opinion, I think
You hear?
Okay.
I really don't, I don't want to push this.
Yeah.
Pardon?
Talking
Oh, sorry. I really wouldn't want or feel comfortable pushing this to a B2. Now, special usage, that's what the building has always been, special usage, but special usage has a lot more civic control than to flag it as a B2 right now.
And I'm going to follow that up with, I think if you go B2, in defense of somebody who bought something to invest in our city, they're limited in what they can do in a B2 right there. Like,
Exactly.
as far as like, as it currently stands.
Yeah.
It is
I
a
get that.
very, very much a limitation unless one of those other properties become up for grabs.
And unfortunately, I want to tag onto his comment there as well. Once this property goes B2, the tax status of this property changes as well,
Yep.
substantially.
Yeah.
And that's not a benefit to him.
Nope.
Okay? It's a detriment to him more than anything. But using it as a special usage, yeah, it's a hassle. It's that he would have to come back here every time he would get a new tenant. At least he stays at that R2 level and his taxes would be lower.
Well, and the special usage, until we can figure out what that comprehensive plan, like what the eventual end game is with that. I mean, I get the end game, but at the same time, it's like, you don't want to put somebody into a spot and then they have to be in a spot immediately thereafter, like, or whenever that thereafter is.
I totally-
So I tend to agree, leaning towards the special usage idea of BZA and just passing that off where it needs to go.
I agree. I think if we've invested so much money for this, I think that we should direct our path as close to this as we possibly can, or why did we even do this?
So, then that really poses a question. Basically, you guys want to vote on this tonight, or do you want to table this until BZA has a chance to look at this? Because we can't decide to any of the special use stuff. That has to be done through BZA.
Correct.
So
Yes.
this is either, we either vote yes or no tonight, or we say we would like to table this until after BZA's had an opportunity to look at this.
You have an option for either one.
I think you pass
Yes.
it, because I think at the end of the day, if you vote tonight, it's
So
hard.
I guess what I'm asking
Yeah.
for is somebody has to make that motion, because I can't do it.
I motion to pass this off to BZA.
So motion to table this then?
Motion to table, pass it, yes, motion to
Yeah,
table.
I think so.
Does anybody would like to second that?
I'll second that.
We need to do a roll for that, or is that just?
do.
Have a roll, please.
Mr. Stapleton,
Aye.
Mr. Watts,
Yes.
Ms. Delph,
Yes.
Mr. Noel.
Aye.
So just to clarify what just happened, we tabled this discussion basically until after BZA's had a chance to look at this for a special use permit.
Okay.
So we didn't say no or yes to this, because potentially they could say no, and then you may be back to us asking us again.
Understood.
But we didn't want to necessarily just crush it here. So BZA now has an opportunity to look at this.
Yes, sir.
And we can walk you through those steps on how the BZA process works for this. You know, we can get started on the paperwork as soon as even tomorrow if we needed to. And it would be for, well, we're about, trying to think where we are on the calendar. Sorry, I don't have my paper calendar in front of me.
Damn millennials. Millennials.
Yeah.
I don't, I also don't.
I'm beyond millennials. I'm way beyond.
If we can still have, if we can get everything in tomorrow, which we can, for notifications and everything, we can have something the first Tuesday of August to get a special, for the application for a special conditional use permit, so.
Is that even faster than in actual zoning?
Correct, yes.
It is.
It would
It'd be-
not have to go to council.
Yeah, it wouldn't have to go.
No.
So
It would be, instead of 60 to 90 days, it would be in 3 weeks,
Oh,
so,
wow, cool.
yeah.
I'm down for that. Sold.
Like I said, I know it's gonna be a little bit more, if we go down that route and everything goes good.
I have a suggestion, I think, for the city. I think for the public, it's not fair that we're looking at a website, at a building that you want to purchase, and it's telling you zone commercial.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's the county auditor, and they are
But that's
terrible.
horrible.
I agree.
That you
Yeah.
have to go through this. Imagine you
Right.
bought a house and you're moving in with your wife and they say, hold on, that's not residential, that's commercial.
So-
What do you mean? I'm telling, everyone called the city. I'm
You
not
need to
kidding.
get yourself a really good title lawyer, like M&M title.
I
is
don't want to
phenomenal.
do that. In the ci- I don't want to do that in the city I want to invest in. And those guys would tell you, I have been extremely.
No, I mean,
even
before you
those-
buy any property, if you have a really good title insurance company or
They-
title company, they'll go through and do all the research for
No,
that.
they
ahead of
did the
time.
research. It's zoning commercial.
Then you may not have had the best one in town. You need the best one in town.
Okay, can I ask you a question? Yeah. The gentleman standing right behind you, he works for the city for zoning and he knows it's zoned commercial. So what title company do you want me to get? You see my point?
But it was zoned special usage.
I believe that 2 years, it's a learning experience for everyone that works here.
I totally agree with you.
Because nobody knew anything. Everybody was said, which I probably would have done the same thing he did. What do you want to open up? Oh, I had a guy coming in, smoke shop. Oh, you speak smoke shop, you good to go.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? That's when, and somebody need to change
It does
that,
need to
because
be.
you know what? It's gonna be a problem again.
Oh,
Somebody's
you're not
gonna
wrong.
stand here, when I sold the building to somebody, it's gonna come right back here again and say, hold on, I bought the building as a commercial.
You're definitely not
I've
wrong.
been,
Right, you're
I've been
correct.
on and off this board for
Until-
20 years,
until
and
it-
I've tried to get that
Until it
changed.
get changed on, because if I would've looked it up, it was a residential, I would've run away.
Give him that one.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right. We
one.
understand, trust us.
Give him that one,
So
that's the one.
I'm good with whatever you guys are deciding. I mean, obviously, I'm asking for help and
I
you
think-
guys, we're all on the same page here. We're
Yeah.
not-
And I think
I
that's
don't want to
also-
stop your business.
I don't either.
I don't want to stop your
was just-
business. I think what you want to do there is fine. I really do.
I really do, and I think it's gonna work great, and I wanna invest more, I really do.
And I think
I
that's the
have
key.
concerns for you as a property owner that I think it's going to be
Yeah.
difficult for parking, but I want your business,
I appreciate it.
I want you to be there. I really do.
No, I have no doubt.
But I think the B2 is scary. For this board, that B2 is scary.
But somebody's gonna come again here 10 years from now, and he's gonna want the same thing.
But
Well,
if we-
but I
if-
think that's
Or
where,
we want, whatever
I
it
got
is.
you. What I think that's where we're trying to open that door for you, because like right now, if we went ahead and said, sure, go ahead, you're limited in what you do with that building.
Absolutely.
The thing is though, is we also have to
If you-
look at the comprehensive
And
plan.
the next person that
Yep.
may own that building. So
But you
what,
guys,
if we leave it, so once it goes B2, it's always B2. It can never go backwards. It can't ever go
but
down.
what can you do with it?
So
That's the
it-
real question.
potentially, the next person may not want to have that building there.
Yeah.
They may take that building down. Maybe they bought all the land that's in that spot and they want to build a couple
Then-
houses.
Then the city would have to say yes, because they would say the building, the property side is.
You're not wrong.
Yeah, you're not
But
wrong.
It's
You're not
just
wrong.
restricting, it restricts future use.
Yes, but
It
also
also
with
gives you a better
that,
tax rate.
you got two apart. I was gonna say
You're
you
getting
have,
two wins here. You're
Yeah.
getting this maybe faster and a lower tax rate.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm sold.
I'm trying.
I feel like I'm good with either way, as long as, we can move on, because there's not, that place could be anything else. We could probably think about it, but.
well, thank you for coming in tonight.
yes, thank
No,
you.
no, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Just seeing this as a neutral point right now. We're tabling it, so it can still be untabled. There's a possibility for it, and we can go to BZA next month and then reevaluate the special conditional use permit and everything
No,
for
absolutely. I mean,
that property, so.
Hopefully everything will go smooth from here and
Yeah.
get things moving.
And I can give you a call as early as tomorrow to get that process started, so
Yeah, I
we can.
absolutely, yeah, please do. I would love, I'm here to get this done with, and I've been taking that, I can show you the phone, how many missed calls we had.
Well, thank you very much. We won't keep you any longer.
Yes.
Thank you.
So thank you.
guys, I appreciate it.
Thank you, Omar.
Thank you.
I really never thought that somebody would doubt this, trying to get.
I don't think the,
Is he the owner of the church? I'm just.
he's one of the associate pastors.
Okay, so he is the pastor out of that church. Okay, all right. But he does not live nowhere in that block at all, right?
Correct.
Okay. All right. Well, he has a lot of concern.
Yeah.
But he lives there,
He grew up in the Platte.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Well, thanks again, guys.
Thank
Sorry to
you.
hold you guys up.
You're
No,
okay.
you're okay.
Thank you, Omar.
Yeah, I'll see you tomorrow then.
Thank
Yes.
Do we have any other business?
I do. Not with you guys. You guys are done. Yeah, unfortunately.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
I know the hour is late, but I do got a couple of things I want to talk to the board itself about. Number one, in years past, okay, when this type of situation came up, the city of Moraine erected a sign in front of said address that gave public notice to a zoning change. There is a big difference when we go to a zoning change of a piece of property. Regardless of what Mrs. Marcus thinks, when you do a rezoning of a piece of property, there is an economic impact to a community. The neighbors in said areas sometimes don't read the Moraine report, sometimes don't get into a city facility to see the public notifications, sometimes don't have avenues to get the Dayton Daily News even. But in years past, we used to put up a sign, the street department would put up a sign when a zoning request of a property was up.
The
And I-
BZA has that.
Do they?
Yes.
Yeah, it's BZA, but with zoning district change, anyone within 200-foot radius gets sent a letter with the legal notice that's in the televisions. So it's not going to be, say, random people driving by that see it. It's only people within a 200-foot radius of that property in question of being rezoned. They are notified of it.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I know
that's
in
the only
most,
thing.
in most cities, though, you do see that when there is a zoning change, you'll see a sign that goes up in the property. I just don't know why we stopped doing that. And it was some time ago when, probably because there hasn't been a whole lot of rezoning in the city of Moraine in quite some time.
Right.
And Nick, you've been thrown into this with both feet, and unfortunately, this particular item that we're talking about tonight has been an ongoing problem, I know, for 25 years. I've been on and off this board begging to get this situation cleaned up and down Main Street. The green space, as you referred to a while ago, across the street, you don't even know what some of that stuff is still, and that's a park district. Why can't we zone that park district?
We can. So what we can do in our power is approach, now that's city land, so we don't need to get permission, but say if it's a business, say, I don't know, the multifamily apartment complex, we could approach them and get their permission saying, hey, we would like to rezone your property to bring it up to proper.
We rezoned the
Zoning.
green space?
We can. So you can rezone. Now there is conservation districts that are a little bit more tighter, and that's more designed for, say, public parks and such, farms, certain types of farms. But as long as they follow the requirements in the Moraine codified ordinances on frontages and size, then it's okay. But anything else, we do have to look at to make sure they follow frontages, lot sizes, and everything else. That's the biggest thing. But we as Moraine Planning Commission we can, make effort to approach, let's say, a specific property and their owner and get granted permission to rezone it, have a meeting about it, and get that property rezoned so that we don't run into any sort of issues down the road.
So if we don't do that, we're just gonna,
Keep having these.
It's just gonna
Doing
keep
this
cycling,
again.
yeah.
And it does, unfortunately, what I don't like about it is that it does cost them $200 for an attempt, just to find out, maybe I have a chance at this. And then same thing, then, now he has to go to BZA. It's gonna be $175 for a BZA meeting, so.
I do want to let you know, and you brought it up, and I'll make sure Nick, chimes in with me. Because you're saying it's restricted to him if he goes to B2. Once it's B2, you can do anything, this is like a tiered system. So once it's B2, he can put an apartment complex there or whatever else. So B2 is not, the only thing it's restricting him from is from doing anything industrial as far as an M1 or an M2 is concerned for the most part. So he could tear it out. No, well, he wouldn't have to. Once it's B2, it's everything.
That was mentioned.
Anything B1 has, anything R4 has, anything R3 has, anything, all of it, all the way down the line.
Like hypothetically, if your house, say if it was a B2 and already, or, you don't have to get it rezoned or anything because it's
So you can live
already.
there.
Yeah, if it's already, now the occupancy is for residential, it's a house, it follows everything the Ohio Building Code is, you're fine because of that tiered system, so.
So in reality, what we're approaching them to do is a whole lot more beneficial to them and the city at this time.
Current
Because
state.
as the city, we still control what businesses, I don't want to say what businesses, but what kind of establishments could go in there with a special use,
Yep.
okay? As long as it's R2. Once it goes up to that B2, we can't stop nothing.
It's always gonna do whatever. it
Yeah.
wants.
Okay?
And-
As long as the building is conformed to
Yeah.
that usage.
And I'm new, so I'm gonna make a statement. Shut me down. I think in the meantime, in respect to him, Nick, you mentioned it's 200 here, it's 175 here. I think we need to make it a goal or figure out whatever steps it is to maybe start doing, so it's not 25 years later now. I think as a committee, we need to probably figure out how we're gonna do that to make that happen.
Well, see, that's what the comprehensive plan really
Yeah.
is supposed to be about.
Well, but he's saying there's steps we have to do to be able to to make sure those zonings are solid or what, I'm making sure I'm understanding, but like,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
it sounds like it's with our ability to be able to get spearhead that or get that going at the very least. And I think that should be a goal so that, when I'm your age, I don't,
Thanks a lot.
hey, you at least got the hair.
Ouch.
I am
No,
the oldest one
no,
in here.
But I'm saying that's a respect thing for me where it's like, I look at it, you don't want me going through the same things you've gone through. And I won't want people coming after me going through the same things I'm going through. So I think that's something that we need to take into consideration sooner than later.
Right, and it's something that we can have a meeting about
Okay.
publicly and have, say, the comprehensive book or something and see what areas you would like to tackle. And we can go through the legal process of that and everything on moving
Great.
Okay.
forward on trying to
I mean,
make the
This
comprehensive
one, we're
plan
not
make
gonna
sense.
follow the comprehensive plan right now.
No.
I mean, it's like out west, you have zoning districts that are R2, but it's pretty much an agricultural use out there because it's been grandfathered in for so long.
Yeah.
They can't,
There- There's a property on East Venetian. And as a kid, that guy had an automotive repair shop right there. The building and everything is still there. I think the family may still own that house, but if I'm not bad mistaken, that one house, part of that property that house is B1.
Well, so
There's another house on Vance
I was just about
that's
to ask.
B1.
I was just about to ask, what's the one that's on the corner where it's got the two, corner of Vance and, is it?
Parallel.
Or, huh?
Parallel or, oh no, down.
Oh, I know.
like going
Where
into
the-
the
where
building.
the body shop
yeah,
is,
the body-
and then the house right
What
in
is
front of
that
it?
one actually rated? Or what is that one zoned?
that one's an M1 if I'm not mistaken, Brent,
so.
for where
next to
it's a
the garden.
roofing company. Are you talking about where it's a roofing
Yeah, 'cause
company now?
that's down for me, and, I mean, you got a house on there, you got a roofing company, and you got a detailing company now,
Now,
so.
now think of that piece of property
Yeah.
right there. That piece of property that you're referring to is M1. Do you know what can go into M1?
I mean, I'm assuming it's great power.
Light,
Based on your look here.
light industrial.
So.
From light industrial down.
Yep.
Yeah, so I
From
mean,
light
that's
industrial
a
all the way down.
significant, that's a significant thing. I
Right,
just look at,
not a
if
machine
we have an
shop.
opportunity to clean up what you're saying, we can clean up. I think it would be good for us.
I,
So,
I think if we have the opportunity to do it, and obviously we have people on here that's
Mhm.
willing to move forward
Yeah.
with something like that, it's only gonna help him out in his job. It's
Yeah.
gonna help him out in his job. It's gonna help us
So can we
promote the city.
plan a meeting for
yeah,
next month, I
Sure.
guess, basically around that?
Certainly, we can plan a meeting. We can have one every month. We can have one whenever on a so-called basis that you would like. If you'd like to call a meeting, we can schedule it. We just have to get a public notice out just stating that we're having one.
it's open,
And
yeah.
You guys
We have
all-
plenty of time for it. It'll be the third Tuesday of August.
You guys all good for that? So that'd be the 19th of August?
It's your birthday, girl. No,
Mine's the
it's,
28th.
no, it's Erica's birthday, my wife.
19th of August. It would be safe, right?
Can you
I'll
have a
make
meeting
it.
on your wife's birthday?
I'll make
Yeah.
it.
And you can also discuss, say, if you want to bring ordinances up or anything in the zoning code too, if you would like to. I have probably like 8 that I want to get changed that I would like to present to you, and I think that might be a good
Let's-
opportunity
yeah,
for me to
let's
do
put that
it,
in there
so.
too.
Let's
Yeah.
knock this stuff out for you.
Some of them have to go straight to council, some of them have to go to planning commission first and then council, so according to the law director.
Okay.
So,
Bring 'em up.
that'll give us an opportunity to get those knocked out as well. So.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Next thing I wanted to talk about real quick was, I know you guys probably saw Mrs. Marcus's comments made about our planning commission meeting of last. She accused us of doing things under the table and not above board. She throwed Nick under the table, and she throwed the city manager under the table. Personally, I have yet to hear her make an apology for those remarks. I know the law director has approached her with her findings was absolutely or nothing. Everything we did was above board. Like I said, I've been doing this for a long time, guys, on and off this board, probably longer than a couple of you may be alive. But I want to apologize to our board for Mrs. Marcus's remarks. They were unfounded and unjust. You ladies and gentlemen serve the city very well in a voluntary capacity, and I want to thank you. As a citizen of Moraine, I want to thank you for everything that you guys do. And I want to extend my apologies to Nick for Mrs. Marcus's remarks. I think her remarks to you and the city manager were completely unfounded and unjust. I don't know where she came up with that kind of verbiage or thought pattern that we were given information that we were not privy to have. I have no idea what type of information we shouldn't have to rezone a piece of property. I think tonight's meeting is very clear. We have to look at a lot of things to rezone a piece of property. I fully reject her opinions about what happened at that last meeting. And to be honest with you, defamation of character is really close to what she done to each and every one of us. Which she represented herself to this board as a councilman. And when she came here, she should have been representing herself as a citizen and not the council. That was wrong on her behalf. I don't know the rest of the board's opinions. I had to beg Mrs. Delph here not to resign. But for me personally, I want to apologize to each and every one of you for her remarks.
You shouldn't have to apologize for someone else's remarks.
I was just glad I got through the first meeting. That's good.
Thanks for sticking around.
No, I think I appreciate that sentiment.
They're not always this entertaining.
No,
No,
I
it's-
appreciate all of you. You all make a great impact, and you're going to make a great future for the city. So just remember that.
Thank you. Does anybody else have anything else they'd like to?
No?
Hang it up. At this time, it's 7:20. I'd like to adjourn the planning commission meeting of 7/15/2025. Can we get a roll?
We don't.
Oh, we just closed?
Yep.
Okay, closed. I thought we did a roll at the end. I don't know.